She will be traveling, as many of you have been following this know, to Munich, Germany to attend the February 18th to 20th Munich Security Conference. She will build on the President's and the national security team's intensive engagement with European allies and partners and emphasize and continue to emphasize with our partners our ironclad commitment to our NATO allies, underscore our commitment to Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity, and reaffirm our shared interest in upholding the principles that have underpinned European peace and security.
The Munich Security Conference. Can you talk a little bit about what her marching orders from the President?
In terms of her engagements and what the President expects, he expects and knows, given she is the first in the room and the last in the room, that she will continue to convey to the rest of the world, again, our ironclad commitment to our NATO allies, our commitment to defending the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Ukraine, and our commitment to putting in place severe economic consequences should Russia invade.
Supposedly killed by Ukrainian forces in the Russian-controlled regions in eastern Ukraine.
We're in the window where we believe an attack could come at any time, and that would be preceded by a fabricated pretext that the Russians use as an excuse to launch an invasion. And we've seen, and we've talked about this a bit in here, we've seen these tactics used in the past. So those could include, but not be limited to, the report you just referenced, claims of provocation in Donbass, false state media reports, which I think you should everybody should keep their eyes open and aware of that potential, faked videos, false accusations about chemical weapons, or accounts of attacks on Russian shoulders that have not actually occurred. So there could be a range of false flags and pretexts that we would expect would precede an invasion, and again, we remain in that window.
Yesterday, can you as officials say that Russia was behind the attacks?
We don't have any new details on an attribution. Cyber attribution takes time, in part because adversaries usually try to hide their tracks, and it takes time to gather and analyze relevant information.
Actually moving critical military assets toward the border.
The door continues to be open to diplomacy. Secretary Blinken spoke with Foreign Minister Lavrov yesterday. Jake Sullivan speaks with his Ukrainian counterpart nearly every day, if not every day. We remain. The President, of course, is going to speak with Chancellor Scholz later this afternoon. So it is moving forward diplomatic conversations on many channels.
Refusing to move the other picks separate from Sarah Bloom-Raskin.
The Russian troops remain massed in a very threatening way at the border. And he was responding, I believe, to a good question about whether they were delivering on what they had promised yesterday. And the answer was no. There's what Russia says, and there's what Russia does, and we're watching very closely what steps they're taking, but they remain amassed in a threatening way at the border.
Reported of Governor Gavin Newsom in many instances.